so this is Procreate. So as you can see, we have hair strokes. I'm going to actually turn it upside down so you can see better, as if we're working on a real eyebrow here, right? I have a bunch of these. I have like a PMU coloring book already put together. So, okay, so I have brushes that I made also. So PMU brushes, we'll do nano stroke fine. Okay, so I'm gonna go into this layer and I'm gonna turn this opacity down so I can just trace over and see what I'm doing here. I'm gonna work on layer 3. Okay, so if we're practicing hair strokes, right? Whenever you microblade, I'm sure you know, coming in, pretend that this is your skin, right? Or your client's skin. So you know, whenever you're microblading, you have to hold that pencil at a 90-degree angle, right? Like an ice skate. So if it's tilted this way, what's gonna happen? Your strokes are not crisp, right? Because you have pushed ink underneath the skin that way, or vice versa, but whoever does that. So we hold it at a 90-degree angle this way. So we can't lean like an ice skate, right? What happens whenever you're ice skating is that you just fall over if you're not completely standing 100% on that ice skate, on that blade, right? Okay, so you already know that. So whenever we do hair, nano strokes, it's no different. So you're gonna hold it at a 90-degree angle, because now think about this, your machine, what's happening? Your machine is working for you, right? With your microblade, you have to cut that into the skin, right? Whenever we use a machine, it's going like this, right? At the speed that you set it at. And then that's why your stroke matters, because it's kind of like winding up a baseball bat to hit a baseball, right? If you just like tap it, it's going to go a little ways, right? Where if you like wind up and bam, then it's going to go farther, right? So think about your stroke like a baseball bat. So the stroke that your machine is set at, or that your machine comes with, your stroke is how hard that machine hits the skin. Like, you know, the soft stroke is just going to tap that little baseball. A harder stroke is going to really get in there and smack a home run, right? So anyway, that's why you need to know the stroke of your machine. So anyway, whenever we are drawing nano strokes, same rules apply. We need to be 90 degrees this way. So not this way, not this way, but we can be this way, right? So we can etch towards ourselves. Now, whenever you're practicing, so you can see, like, let me turn that opacity back up. So can you see how the most dense part of our eyebrow is going to be in here, right? So when I do nano strokes, I never, like, what's going to happen if you drop your needle right here and just start bam going in, right? You're going to get like a super hard stroke that stops right there at the bottom, right? Now what happens if you hover over the skin and you drop the needle in a little bit? We want to come in and hover over the skin until we feel ourselves make contact. And we're going to etch these hair strokes and just etch them into the skin. Overlapping about 60%. Slow and steady wins this race every time. Then when you get to the end of your stroke, you just pull out of the skin. Whenever we're trying to go, you can do the same thing going this way, so that the very edge of your hair stroke fades off into nothing. Now remember, we want the thickest part of our hair stroke is going to be in the middle, right? So we do one pass, that's our skeleton. Etch in, slow and steady, 60% overlap. So we're building that stroke in the middle, right? Where it's naturally going to be the thickest. And you always want those tails to kind of have a little bit of an S shape to them. We don't want a straight one. So then you can go back to the middle, do the same thing to feather out that end so that it's never a blunt, solid edge, right? First pass, first pass, first pass. Then on your second pass, you're just going to go in and make that inside a little bit more dense. I'm trying to go too fast, and I made these brushes so that it won't let me. You can only etch a little bit at a time, so you have to learn to take your time. But then you inevitably make this beautiful stroke that has that nice thick density in the middle, thick for a one-liner. But then you have those tails that are super, super soft. So if I turn that off completely, you can see that that hair stroke is just beautiful, right? But that's how you get it. By hover over, etch, 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 and out. Come back here, over, 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 and out.